What's good, everyone? It's MJO23 Dan back with another video. This one is a highly anticipated one. It's of the Air Jordan 8 Aqua, and I'm going to be doing a comparison. So on your left there you see the original from 1993. In the middle there you see the 2007, and then on your right is the 2015. This is 22 years in the making. There's going to be some similarities, some differences, but we all know it's a lot more differences than similarities. So let me go ahead and take you through each one and show you guys what's up. Alright, so starting off with the original box, as we know, this is the Air Jordan 8 Black Bright Concord Aquatone. The style number is 130169. Color code is 040. Moving on to the 2007, this is the Air Jordan 8 Retro in Black Bright Concord Aquatone. Style number 305381, color code 041. And then moving on to that is the Air Jordan 8 Retro in Black True Red Flint Gray Bright Concord, $190, set to release Black Friday, November 27, 2015. Alright, so looking down here at the shoes, again, I just removed the boxes. So on the left side you have the OG, in the middle you have the 2007, on the right you have the 2015. So just going to give you a minute to just, take a look at the shoes, and you can point out some of the similarities, some of the differences, some of the color cues. Hope that picks up on camera, and you just give it a glance, and then I'll just point out some of the things that I personally notice. And hopefully, this comparison I don't think is going to be done on YouTube by anybody else, really. I don't mean to really boast about that, but I honestly don't think that anybody really owns the original, in order to do a comparison like this. So hopefully this comparison will be of positivity when you decide to cop your 2015 Retro. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the comparison. Alright, so for the sake of saving space here, I'm just going to be using one shoe out of the pairs, and pulled out the right shoe so you can see what's going on here. So again, we have the OG, we have the 2007, and we have the 2015. So let's go over the original. So you're going to see that there's going to be some oxidation on the original. Okay, and they primarily used a Durabuck material. So Durabuck, as you have probably seen in my other previous videos, I kind of linked it in one of the videos. I'll go ahead and link it in this video as well. But Durabuck is a synthetic material, synthetic leather that cracks. So you'll see that on original 8, you'll see that on 7s, 6s, those kinds of things. So moving up the shoe, you'll notice that the suede right here on the toe, it goes all the way up alongside the tongue, and it's a darker gray when you compare it to the 2015, but we'll jump over there pretty soon. It is pretty similar to the 2007, but the OG is just a little bit lighter here. So working our way up, you see the embossed 23 right there on the right strap of the shoe, since this is the right shoe. If it was the left shoe, it'd be on the left strap. Then on the underside, you have nice leather here. Just take note, thickness of the cut. On the other side, you didn't have anything. On the tips here where the strap goes through, it's just a plain plastic, nothing shiny, no type of finish whatsoever. It's just a plain plastic piece. And then moving up to the tongue, which is a big characteristic of the Air Jordan 8, you have the nice aquatone of the tongue, followed by the Jumpman, which looks nice and even, no skinniness going on. Then you got the bright Concord right there, and the black right underneath. One thing that's really cool about the OG is that it has this orange circle, which I felt kind of resembled the basketball rim. you know, the orange circle, the orange rim, which is a nice touch. And it's a patch, you know, stitched on to the front of the tongue there. So let's go over to the 2007. I'm just going to show you the, you know, the top portion of the shoe first. Here we go with the tongue. I mean the toes. Let's compare that to the original. And then here is the 2007. Just a slight difference in color. And we'll go over that a little bit more. Now this right here, it feels like a nubuck. It's not something that I felt like cracked over the years. So you probably won't notice that on your 2007s. Although you will notice it on the midsoles. And though the paint there has cracked for pairs that I've seen over the years. There's the suede right there on the toe. Notice the stitching. It's a single and then it's a double line. Here, same thing. Single, double line. The only thing is that this point comes down a little bit more aggressively than it does on this one here, which looks a little bit more uniform. Laces are the same. 23 embossed on the right strap of the right shoe. Nothing on the left. Looking at the gray on either side of the tongue. It's got that nice charcoal look, dark charcoal look. Okay. And here is the tip, which is got a shiny finish to it. Nothing present like it is on the original, which didn't have a finish, so you'll see those right there side by side. Here's the tongue. You got the aqua tone, the bright concord, and then the black right underneath. And then check out the Jumpman. It's a little bit more skinnier than it is with the original. You guys catch that? So in my opinion, I felt like the original looked way better. And then, big difference here, guys, is the yellow circle. So you got a lot more yellow on the 2007 pair. And then on the original, you got the orange. And I'll talk more about the orange in a bit. And then again, that patch is stitched on right on the tongue. Now, the 2015. Here's the toe with the rubber. Now you got a little bit of a brighter aqua color right there as opposed to the 2007 and the OG. Okay, so moving up with the toe box, and then you have the suede right above that. Double stitch line, single stitch line. The shape right here of the triangle, it's not as aggressive as the 2007, but it does look similar to the OG. So when we talk about remastered, it looks like 2015 has kind of got something right there. Now the only difference between the 2015 and the OG is the color. So you'll notice it's a darker suede. 2007 is much more darker. 2015 is a light gray. Okay, there's the 23 on the right strap, embossed. So I felt like a lot of those look similar throughout each shoe. Nothing on the left strap. The cut of leather. Cut of leather. And then the cut of leather there. So open this up. You see the light gray going up alongside the tongue, moving up toward the circle. Now we have back the orange line, the orange circle, the orange basketball rim with the Aquatone colorway, the bright Concord, and the black. But we get a skinny Jumpman. So between the three, the 2007 and the original looks the best. Now, you know how I pointed out here on the toe that the Aquatone colorway was a little bit lighter? So that Aquatone, if you want to get nitpicky, doesn't really match too much where this is a little bit darker. It matches more on the 2007. Actually, if you flip this one onto there and that one onto there, it matches tongues. But that's if you want to be nitpicky. I forgot to note also that the strap holder right here is similar to the OG, and it doesn't have that glossy finish as it does on the 2007, but it does for the OG. Alright, so moving on to the side of the shoe. Alright, so here's your look at the midsole. You had oxidation, you have cracks, you have a glittery midsole, okay? That is present on the 2015. Notice the design. Here is the 2007. No glitter on the midsole. And then you got the design there too. And then on the 2015, we have glitter. Moving up on the 2015, you got the Air Jordan. I didn't think that changed too much on each of its predecessors. So that pretty much stayed the same. Now the back panels here, a little bit different, as I've shown you with the color. So here's the OG. And then in the perforations you can see a little bit more defined. Whereas on the 2007, it's a darker material. Perforations are, well, you guys can see. And then we have the return of the perforations. You can really see it in there. But the color is contrasting, light gray. One other thing here, we have a big change with the pull tab on the back of the shoe. So on the OG, you'll see that the pull tab is separate from the back of the shoe. You can stick your finger down. It's a freestanding booty. Whereas on the 2007, it's attached to the shoe. You can't remove it. It's still kind of like a booty, but it's not a freestanding booty. So that's attached, that's detached. And then on the 2015, it's back to detached. So that's that. So here's the pattern of the OG Air Jordan 8. You got your purples, your reds, your black, your orange, the orange with the black, and then the Aquatone right in the back. Now you'll see that is a different color, contrasting from the rubber to the panel there. And this is all oxidation. As you can see, this is how crumbling starts. See all the bits going down. And then you have like a varsity red Jumpman. Now on the 2007, you have yellow in place of the orange. So we have, you know, the red going through the black line right there, whereas on the OG it's orange. And then right here you got the orange. Here you have the red with the yellow, the black, the aqua color, or the bright concord color, and then, you know, a lot more yellows, purples, and black. On the OG you got the purple, red, black. Now in the 2015 we see the return of the orange going through the black, the purple, the reds, and all that. So 2007 was way different from the 2015 and the original, but the Jumpmans look like they stay the same. The colors are different, again pointing out the aqua color on the rubber to the midsole, the rubber to the midsole looks the same there, and then here the rubber to the midsole. Here's the inside tag for the original. And then the inside tag for this one is going to be on the side. This is the 2007. And the inside tag for the 2015, same side as the 2007. As I pointed out in my solo video for the 2015 Air Jordan 8. That was on the OG, so that's the 2015. On the bottom of this, you do have cardboard and it is stamped. On the 2007, it is a black insole with a red Jumpman. That's cardboard under there as well. And then I don't want to mess with the OG too much because I stuck my hand in there and, you know, the sides started cracking, but we do see, try as best as I can, you know, the original insole right there is colored. And then underneath, one thing about the original is that it does also have a cardboard bottom under the insole, but the size of the shoe, which is a size 10, is stamped right there on the cardboard. So if you're ever looking for an OG, look for the size stamping on that cardboard on the insole. Alright guys, so hopefully I was able to give you guys a good perspective on what each of these shoes' characteristics are, similarities, differences. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Do you guys want the 2015? Are you still looking for the 2007? Or did you change your mind about the OG and want to start getting into OGs? Again, let me know in the comments what you guys think. Again, this is MJO23Dan, and I'm glad to give you guys a good comparison between all three of the colorways. Make sure you subscribe, hit that thumbs up if you like it. Thank you and take care.